fortune, I just got the news. I can be. Reading fortune, I just got the news. I can be a millionaire too. Check the OP, what did he do? Gas in his bag so they go to the moon. Spent half an eighth, I got $1 million coins like the real McCoy. You know I feel that joy, cause if it goes to a buck, I won't believe my luck. And now 10 on my Lambos for me and my friends.
What's up, guys? I'm Crypto Keith. Welcome to our channel, Crypto Living. I had to get the heck away from that planet back there. If you noticed, I'm in the stratosphere right now because taxes, guys. Taxes can be so stressful, so overwhelming, and it feels like, you know, we're being brainwashed all the time when it comes to taxes and paying taxes. And if you take a step back, you know, take a few steps away from that big red, big blue, green rock, could be red if we keep going the way we're going, like the red planet, you know, out there. But if you take a step back, you know, this whole monetary system, money, the fact that we pay taxes seems very odd. To me, at least, it does. And it seems like theft. But while we're young, you know, at an early age, we're trained, and, you know, we have this propaganda surrounding us all the time telling us that we have to pay taxes. One of the most influential things that I've heard people say, and then them not even realize it, is, you know, the saying, there's two things in life that you cannot avoid that are inevitable: death and taxes. Well, this is what they want you to believe. The taxes are unavoidable. But this was the case up until now. Now we actually have tools, cryptocurrencies, that give you the possibility, if done right, and you know what you're doing, to avoid paying taxes. Now, I do not suggest doing this. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I say here is financial or legal or tax advice. But I will tell you what I've learned. And today I was talking to a tax expert, specifically in cryptocurrencies, and they've been studying this subject for a while. So, you know, thankfully at my regular, you know, place I go to do my taxes, there's a specific individual employee that works there that has been studying and dealing with cryptocurrencies and taxes. And he seems to know quite a bit. And I'm sure there's not a lot of people, you know, claiming taxes for cryptocurrencies, but there are some. And it really got noticed here in Canada by the Canadian Revenue Agency around 2013. So you can assume that since then, in what, 5 years, they've seen a couple people come in there, you know, asking about taxes. So they have done their research, they have figured it out, and I'm going to bring to you what they've told me. And especially if you live in Canada, this could be a very informative video for you. And if you don't live in Canada, it could still be very educational. And we're going to go over some tax laws in the States and the UK briefly, what I've learned. And I hope you guys can, you know, take a step back. Meditation is always good, you know. Ground yourself, and then get into some taxes, because it can be very overwhelming, stressful, and you know, it can be very discouraging. You know, you might not have any motivation. It might be one of your priorities, but you're just not feeling it. You're not interested in going through it. There's much more enjoyable things you could be doing with your time, so you'll procrastinate on the tax things till the last moment, and that is usually the worst thing to do. It'll cause the most grief, the most stress and anxiety. If you get it over with, then that is the best thing to do, and that's what I did today. I went in and wasn't really planning to do my taxes up to date. I still have the past year's taxes to claim, but I did claim my first couple years of investing in cryptocurrencies. Although I did not cash out a lot in those first years, so it made it a lot easier. But at least now I understand how to do 2017's taxes, where I was doing trading all the time and on multiple different exchanges. So I'll share with you what I've learned, and then we'll see what some other people are saying online about taxes in different countries. So if you guys have any questions, I'll answer them in the comment section. And also, if you have any other information, throw it down there too as well, please. Okay, so I wrote out a couple points I wanted to cover, and myths and questions people have surrounding taxes. Now we're gonna go on Reddit and see what people are asking as well, but the main things that I could think of that are confusing to most people are, I can get away with not paying taxes with crypto. This is a confusing topic. People, might hear from one person that you don't have to claim taxes, and then from another person that you do. So, with this one, I would say, for the most part, no, you cannot get away with it. And in the early days, you could a lot easier. Now, Bitcoin has become so mainstream, it's gotten so much media attention that they don't want to, different countries, they want to take advantage and profit off of this new cryptocurrency trend as much as possible. So whether it's creating their own cryptocurrencies, creating less regulations in that country for startups to move there and grow the economy, whether it's allowing these ICOs in their country, bringing in money from other countries into their country, things like that, and then taxes. If you look at the cryptocurrency market capitalizations, well, Bitcoin alone, the market cap has dropped significantly, but the normal market cap is around $250 billion from just Bitcoin alone. So some places, they can ask for as much as 45% of your earnings, your gains, your value in cryptocurrency. So let's say this was that country, or every country was like that, then that's a potential of over $100 billion that they could be losing in taxes if they're just letting people get away with it. And in the recent years, the United States said that less than 1,000 people were claiming cryptocurrency taxes, paying taxes on crypto gains each year. And so there are multiple ways for them to track, a lot of cryptocurrency transactions and holdings, portfolios now. And the main ways they do that are, kind of as gatekeepers when you buy in and buy out. And this is the one thing that I noticed right away that was wrong with cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. People said that it was decentralized, anonymous, and could not be tracked and traced. But then I noticed that for you to buy in to Bitcoin with cash, you have to attach your identity. So I use local Bitcoins, and to do that, or attach a bank account to these exchanges, you're going to have to upload your identity. So to buy in, you are being tracked. Most likely 99% of the time, and there's almost no way to do it anymore, at least not by more than a couple $100 worth without having your identity and name attached to it. Also, when you cash out, just apply the same model. A lot of these same platforms are used to cash in and out, or same methods. So the government knows and can know when you cash in and out. Now there's multiple other ways that they can guess who has what, but multiple breaches of your privacy that they could use to say who has what and who's using what. For instance, looking at your IP address and all transactions that are done through your IP address. So if you have a wallet on your computer but no ID attached to it, there are controversial methods of them hacking, or the NSA and other government agencies are already collecting all this data anyways. It's just a matter of whether it's legal for them to access this data to prove that you have money and you're not paying taxes on it. Now, this is the type of regulations we're seeing more and more of. And this is, whenever you see regulation in the news, it all comes down to this: taxes. It all comes down to the taxes. Anytime you see, money laundering, anti-money laundering procedures, know your customer procedures, governments, agencies talking about terrorism, people funding terrorism with Bitcoin, or even we saw the Vatican saying people are funding pedophilia with Bitcoin. The guilty one always points the finger, it seems, but this is all tactics and propaganda just because they're missing out on taxes. So always keep this in mind and understand this, okay? So also, they're forcing you, it seems like they're forcing you, telling you all over the place, news articles, on television, media, in the newspaper. Everybody is saying you have to pay taxes. You have to pay your taxes on crypto. There's this huge marketing initiative or effort to convince people that they need to pay taxes. There would not be this effort if they could track 100% everybody's cryptocurrency gains, right? Why, if they can track everybody's, which they've said multiple times that they can track who has what and how many Bitcoins you have. If this were 100% true, then we wouldn't see things like Poloniex right now and Coinbase just taken to court and forced to have user identities attached. Coinbase and Poloniex, they settled with, transactions over 20,000. Accounts that are worth over $20,000 need to be reported to the government. And also, you cannot exchange more than certain amounts. Poloniex is $2,000. You cannot withdraw more than $2,000 unless you attach your identity. So it's kind of like banks. When you put in over $10,000, some places $20,000, you're flagged, you're red flagged, and the government is notified. This is because of illegal activity and the government not getting their cut of funds raised with illegal activity. Also, they can then confiscate that money. And in the States, there's been laws passed where they can take your money even if they have suspicion that it's being used for illegal activities. So people have, had their money stolen. People that were driving to the car dealership with $10,000, the cops will take that money because, stating that nobody should be carrying that amount of money around unless they're up to no good. And the law that was passed allows your money to be able to go on trial by itself. So you're not going on trial for this case. Your money is, your property is. And so this is an easy way for them to win in any court case and just confiscate, steal people's money. This is why it might be worth you paying your taxes, because ultimately at the end of the day, if you're doing things like money laundering, tax evasion, you could go to jail, and you could ultimately, they could try to confiscate the rest of your funds. I'm not saying that they're going to have much luck with that with cryptocurrencies, but exchanges are becoming more risky to hold your funds on because governments are gaining more control. And we see in South Korea, governments are being granted access to shut down any exchanges that money laundering might be going on within, or terrorist funding, or things like that. So really, the government has given themselves full authority. So you want to keep good with the government, because at the end of the day, they can make your life miserable. And do you want to be looking over your shoulders, worried about the taxman, the IRS coming for you at any time? These are the things that I think about. Okay, so can you get away with not paying taxes? The short answer is no. It's going to be very, very hard with all of the things they have set in place right now. The only way you can really do it is if you hold Dash or Monero. And I would suggest not doing this unless you really know what you're doing, or have reasons for this where you cannot pay taxes. Say you're on some sort of program and you'll get cut off it if you're making a certain amount of money. You have to think about this yourself. Weigh the risks with the benefits, and a lot of times, it's only money. If it's sitting there anyways, if you have it, you might as well pay the government while you have it, rather than them making your life miserable later while you're not doing so well, or you going in debt because of it. Also, another suggestion would be to hold your cryptocurrencies in offline wallets. So you can download wallets for every cryptocurrency out there, a wallet that will just hold that cryptocurrency. And they're becoming more decentralized exchanges, wallets that hold multiple cryptocurrencies in them. For example, Exodus. Another one is CoinBridge that I haven't used yet, but I'm looking into. Okay, so number 2, I lost, gave a gift, or got my coins stolen, so I don't need to claim them. This has happened to me, and it's a good topic to talk about now that Bitconnect lost a lot of people's money. They didn't really take your money, but they took the money out of the value out of their cryptocurrency, the coin that you put all your money into. So you bought this coin off them for a lot, and now it's worth nothing. So you have to sell it for basically nothing. So what this expert I talked to mentioned about this is that you're gonna have to prove that you lost it, and a lot of times it's very hard. So sometimes it might be worth, sometimes they might just tax you for it because you can't prove it. But definitely claim it as a loss. What he suggested to me is, because it's harder to prove that somebody left with my money, that stole it, unless you have the, receipts or emails showing that you put money in. and then some sort of email or some sort of proof showing that your balance is 0 or the website's gone, then you should be able to claim those losses and subtract that from your gains, right? Kind of like expenses. So if you gave away cryptocurrency as a gift, so again, if if someone else, if you could benefit from someone else holding your cryptocurrency, or if you're not allowed for whatever reasons to have a bunch of money, whether you're on government assistance and unemployment, then it might be worth giving away your crypto as a gift. Well, I did read that gifts under $15,000 do not have to be claimed. Over $15,000, there is a gift tax. So that's about that. So for me, I was in an investment. I put some money into a platform and it just disappeared. So what I'm going to have to do, and what this tax expert suggested I do, was just claim it as losses. So claim it as I invested in something that became worthless. You don't have to prove this stuff right away when you're doing your taxes, but if you have a lot of inconsistencies, or you're not claiming the right amount and the government thinks that you're keeping their fair share from them, then you're going to get investigated, and they're going to look further and maybe audit you. And this is when you're going to need to prove everything. So if you are trying to hide anything, it's probably or not trying to hide anything, but if you don't have proof for everything, then it's probably worth not hiding anything and just paying your taxes, because it could make things even harder for you, or you could have to pay even more down the road. So for instance, if I pay the rest of, do everything else, the way I'm supposed to with filing my taxes, and then instead of saying that, someone stole my money, I wanted to say that I invested in a coin that went to 0, I don't have to necessarily prove this right away. And they're never going to come after me and, ask for proof if I do the rest of my taxes properly. So this is what he suggested. Also, it is worth, if you can get the proof together, showing that, it was stolen. But everything on your taxes, when you do your taxes, it needs to be proven. You can just claim it, say, write it down, what happened, but then they're going to come, if you have any inconsistencies, come and look into that. So keep that in mind. Holding longer is equal to paying less taxes. So some people, say it's more beneficial to hold longer, and some people say it's more beneficial to hold for less amount of time. Well, sorry. So what I was told, right? What I was told is that it doesn't really matter here in Canada. There is a case where it does matter more, and I'll get into that. But I have heard some places that you pay less taxes when you hold it for longer. So incentivizing you to hold. And most of the new tax laws are incentivizing you to hold. So if you just hold, you're going to be better off. Also, I heard, people saying a while ago that they don't trade, they don't day trade it in and out of cryptocurrencies, because they don't want to have to claim all that and, keep track of all those trades and what price the cryptos were at the time you transferred and traded into from one to another. And really, this was not the case until just recently when Donald Trump changed the law in the U.S. Here in Canada, it's always been the case where you had to claim each from trading from one crypto to another. Although I've heard people saying that, Bitcoin doesn't really count if you're, buying Bitcoin and then you're funding another crypto with that Bitcoin and you're not really holding the Bitcoin, then the Bitcoin doesn't really count as, a taxable event because you're just buying the Bitcoin to buy your investment. So you can kind of look at Bitcoin as US dollars in that sense. And overall, this person told me that in Canada, they didn't have to write too many new tax laws because they look at it just the same way as stocks are looked at here in Canada. So, yeah, he didn't say, it mattered in this sense, whether you hold it for longer or not. But if you mine cryptocurrencies, accept cryptocurrencies or get commissions, get paid in commissions, so, you're promoting something, you're getting affiliate commissions to earn your crypto, then I was assuming that this is better because you're not paying capital gains. Assuming capital gains taxes is more than income tax. Some places it is, some places it isn't. But I learned today that it is not better. That it's better here in Canada to claim capital gains taxes. So it's better to invest your money. In that sense, you just claim it as an investment. If you were to mine cryptocurrency, you have to claim that as a business and income tax and business taxes. Well, the reason why, capital gains taxes are better here is because we only get taxed capital gains taxes on 50% of our income. So when you do capital gains taxes, you have some tax breaks. At least in Canada here, and I think Donald Trump closed up some of those loopholes. I'm not 100% sure in the States, but in Canada, capital gains means they say something like 50% taxable or something like that. And what that means is that, half of your earnings, you get away scot-free, not paying any taxes. The other half, you pay capital gains taxes on, which is, I think, 25% here in Canada. So again, going back to if you're mining or accepting, if you're selling this right away, then it makes it different than if you're holding this for a couple years. So if you're a miner and you're just mining for income and then selling it right away, then this is income. This is income tax and business taxes. If you're then, mining and then moving it into an investment wallet and holding it there, now you're paying capital gains taxes. So if you hold over a year, this is when it matters how long you hold. Only if you are mining, buying. And with taxes, a lot of people say it matters what Bitcoin you're using because of, the different amount of time you hold it, different tax, rules being applied. But when it's the same rules all across the board, it doesn't matter what crypto. But when it does, matter if it was a year you're holding or less than a year, then you're gonna have to, if you buy crypto all the time and you're using crypto all the time, and you have multiple exchanges and wallets, well, you're gonna have to, draw what Bitcoin you're spending, selling, and when you bought that Bitcoin. Right? So, makes sense. But here, it doesn't matter. Some places, it does. And I'm going to give you guys all the information down below for your areas, especially the United Kingdom, the UK, Canada, and the United States. So if you live in one of these three places, I'll have information in the description where you can do more research if you're confused. So, some people were saying that you only claim when you cash out. And yeah, this seems to have been the case in the United States up until 2018. January 2018, new tax rules came into place, and we'll go into those a little bit. But, you know, taxes. I think this meme was made for taxes. But taxes are different everywhere. And let's go into I'll throw these articles down below. Where is it? It'll be right here. So I'm going to throw, you know, a couple of these articles down below about the new tax rules in the United States. I'm also going to share with you guys an amazing tool at the end of this video that you can use to keep track of your portfolios in multiple different exchanges and your taxes on that. So it keeps track of the price when you trade from one currency to another. It keeps track of all of that. And there are more blockchain platforms and programs promising to do this, where, you know, automatically with smart contracts, every transaction you make is recorded on the blockchain, kind of like your own accountant. And this tool I'm going to share is kind of like that. So tax cut bill to require taxation of cryptocurrency trades in the U.S. Trump just passed a new tax bill right before 2018, and it's, you know, I think it's July 1st, 2018 it came into effect. So in your past couple years' taxes, you can claim only the taxes, you only have to claim when you cashed out. So if you have $100,000 in cryptocurrency and you only cashed out $5,000, you only have to pay taxes on $5,000. Now with, you know, this new law Trump passed, specifically targeting cryptocurrency investors, because, you know, with all those billions of dollars sitting there, in the whole market cap of cryptocurrencies, it's about, you know, $600 billion. So with $600 billion sitting there, most people don't cash out. It's just sitting there. So they went from not being able to earn anything off of that 600 billion to being able to earn, you know, 15, 20 to 40% of that 600 billion, because people are trading in and out of cryptocurrencies all the time. So now, after this new tax bill in the States, every cryptocurrency trade is a taxable event. You know, minus what, when we said the Bitcoin, you can probably get away with, you know, when you buy Bitcoin just to buy another cryptocurrency, you probably don't have to claim that Bitcoin trade. But when you turn that Bitcoin into a cryptocurrency, just, you know, look at it like you put the dollar amount, dollar value of that cryptocurrency or whatever you bought it for into the coin that you're, you know, buying in the end to invest in. So another point I have here is capital gains tax is worse than income tax. That's what I always thought. I always thought, okay, I need to get around this capital gains tax, so I'm going to start accepting Bitcoins for service, start, you know, doing more promoting and earning more affiliate commissions rather than investing in these platforms. And this is what Craig Grant, you know, advised me to do, and he was completely wrong at the time he said it, but he said that he doesn't trade cryptocurrencies. He does the mining and affiliates, and when he does that, you know, it's an income. It's his business. You know, he's earning money by blogging. So he really claims it as a blogging business, where the more he blogs, the more he earns commissions, right? So he I guess where he was, you know, it's better to claim income than capital gains. But when I was talking to this expert here in Canada today, they informed me that capital gains tax is better than income tax, in the sense that you're only paying taxes on 50% of your capital gains income. So what he told me to do was, you know, the years that I only put money into cryptocurrency and didn't take any out, I don't claim any income. I don't claim anything for that year. I don't even have to say that I put money in. So this is what they advised me to do. So, you know, 2015, I started putting money in. So really, nothing changed for 2016 for me. I basically, you know, claimed it as no income. Nothing changed from the year before. But in 2016, when I start, you know, cashing out, I'm probably going to try to get away with only claiming what I cash out. And if I can't, if, you know, the tax people I'm working with are urging me and, you know, don't let me claim it that way, then I will claim trades on exchanges. I'll have to claim every trade. But the hard part is going in and finding what those currencies were worth at the time you traded. Because on exchanges, yeah, you can print out your whole transaction history, your whole order history, your buy orders, sell orders, your transactions. But what you can't do is figure out what it was worth at that time. So what you're going to have to do to keep good records would be to, every time you make a trade, you know, maybe take a screenshot and then put a note in that screenshot of the price of each coin at the time. Or have another way of, you know, keeping track. Maybe a public ledger, if that thing exists. There's, you know, that's what I mean. There's more blockchain platforms that are being able to do this automatically, and we'll be able to utilize those more and more coming to the future. And some of them do charge a fee, though. So here's another myth or question I had. I can hold crypto for someone else and not claim it. So my dad gave me $3,000 to put into cryptocurrency for him, and I won't be claiming that as my own income, that's for sure, because I need to have, you know, the lower amount of income I'm having, the better, for other reasons, you know. So it would be better if he was holding my cryptocurrency and him paying taxes on it, and I pay him the taxes. So what my tax advisor was telling me I should do is, for this money that I'm holding for somebody else, you're not really supposed to do that. You're not, in the exchanges, in the platforms you're using, when you put your identity, you know, on these platforms, local Bitcoins, for instance, you have to confirm, and it's probably in the terms and conditions if you don't see it, you know, very out in the open, that you're only buying cryptocurrencies for yourself. That what you're buying is for personal use only. And so you're really not supposed to buy crypto with your account for someone else. So what he was urging me to do is claim it as my own and get them to pay me the taxes that I'm paying. Well, this isn't really going to work because of other, you know, reasons. But I'm going to get together with this person and transfer that into their name. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have a paper trail of them giving me the money to buy them that cryptocurrency. And then I'll have to have the transaction of me sending it from my wallet to their wallet. Even better if they have their identity attached to that wallet. And then also, if he's claiming taxes and paying taxes on that cryptocurrency, then if there is an investigation, then I have all the proof I need, right? Until then, I can just, you know, give it to him, and hopefully they don't come knocking on my door. But they are claiming to know, you know, what people have, and they don't tell you what, you know, income they have on paper of you making. So there's no real way to know what crypto they know about and what crypto they don't. Although there is, you know, different ways you can claim half of your crypto and not the other half. Although it's not legal, you know, if you need to, there are ways like holding it in one of these wallets where you don't have your identity. Just make sure, because the way I think they're using the government a lot in the NSA, they say they have a tool to be able to track Bitcoin and who has what Bitcoin. What I think they're doing is I think they're using, you know, when you buy in and buy, and then tracing that. So if you bought cryptocurrency, sent it to one wallet, traded, did whatever, and then sent it to another wallet, and then, you know, that wallet address also has cryptocurrency in it that you're not claiming, you kind of just gave away that cryptocurrency because of the trail leading to it and showing that it's yours. But this is not 100%. They cannot prove 100% that that's your wallet. Because who's to say that that transaction of you sending money from your one wallet to this other wallet with no identity isn't you paying somebody for something, or sending money to someone. You know, I do giveaways on my channel, so I'm going to have to claim those too. Although money you spend doesn't matter, right? So money, you can spend money on whatever you want, giveaways, this and that, it doesn't matter. But when it's business related expenses, it does. It comes off of your income. So, you know, when I give away money on my channel, this is business expenses because it's a form of advertising for me, right? It's a form of marketing. So then I could take minus that from my income. So I hope that helps there. There's two more points I want to go over. You must do taxes at the end of the year. So I was under the impression that I had to do taxes before the year was over for, you know, so 2017. I had to do my taxes before January 1st, 2018. This is not the case. And then I heard you have to do it, so you have to pay your taxes from 2016 before January 30th, 2017. And I was told here in Canada that this is not the case. It's 6 months after that year. So for 2017's taxes, I would pay, the deadline would be 6 months after December 30th of 2017. So you hear, you know, April a lot, May, people doing taxes is because it's coming to that time. June, you know, June is the cutoff pretty much for me to do my 2017 taxes. So last one, actually I already went over this one, the mining. So now we're going to go over, you know, some interesting things here, and then I'm not going to go read these articles. I basically told you everything, and then I'll just throw all these articles down below that I've, you know, gathered about taxes, because I hate making these videos too long. So, anarchist, because anything less would be uncivilized. Here's taxcryptos.com. Pretty interesting, eh? Info at tax cryptos. So, for crypto miners, filing a return for investors and traders. So this seems like a tax filing service just for cryptocurrencies. You'd have to look into it more. I'll put this link down below. The good old shut up and take my Bitcoin. This is one of the most famous Bitcoin memes. And I think it was made because of taxes. Either taxes or Bitconnect, one of the two. Pay taxes on your cryptocurrency in Canada. So the CRA has made a statement about that. Whether a virtual currency such as Bitcoin is held as an investor or as a capital property is also a question of fact. So in the States, you know, it's been classified as special property now, and in the UK or another country, it's been classified, or maybe it's Russia, as what is it? Real property, or something. I don't know. There's all these terms that they're using now. This is how I feel, you know, with taxes. I feel like there's so much math equations, especially when trading cryptocurrencies, and that's why it's probably worth, and my tax advisor suggested me to use this service, Coin Tracker, to track my taxes, because it does all the math, the calculations for you. So the robot that takes your job should pay taxes, says Bill Gates. I agree. And actually, this is already happening with Sophia. So Sophia was granted citizenship of Dubai. Why do you think that was? So that they can charge her taxes, so that they can make money off of her working and the jobs and tasks she does. She does all sorts of interviews everywhere, for instance, and you know, maybe one day she'll be paid with IOTA. But for the meantime, 3 concerns about granting citizenship. Risk to citizenship. So defining identity, legal rights, and taxes. Social rights. So what other projects is she working on where they're going to be taxing her? Well, we'll look into that, but this person here, the Patriot Hangout, tapatalk.com, is saying Sophia was recently granted actual citizenship in Saudi Arabia. She will even have her own currency in the form of Bitcoin. But even more amazing and disturbing, depending upon your perspective, is that she was given a network-style, cloud-based, open-source, artificial intelligent brain. So basically, she's open-sourced. She's decentralized. And some people think that artificial intelligence created Bitcoin. Sophia is created by Hanson Robotics. Sounds like it's straight out of a movie. So, you know, people think that artificial intelligence reached the point of the singularity, or, you know, reached a certain point where they were running. You know, they definitely, it's a possibility that there's artificial intelligent algorithms and machines running all the time places and accessing different information, the news, you know, YouTube, and they could access it all in seconds. That's the good thing about artificial intelligence is, you know, all the content uploaded on YouTube, an AI, you know, algorithm could skim through it and find anything you wanted. If, you know, they wanted to see, you know, pick a name, say me, and find any videos online with me in them, an artificial intelligent robot or algorithm could do that in seconds and use facial recognition to find any video I'm in, or voice recognition. So, you know, say these robots are running and they have access to the internet and stuff, right? Well, then wouldn't they want money? Seeing that money is so valuable to us, wouldn't they want money? And a form of money that is, you know, catered and tailored for them. They really can't hold money. They're all just, you know, ones and zeros. So they would want a form of money that is ones and zeros as well, that they could literally possess. You know, they could hold within them. And this could be a reason, you know, Bitcoin was created. It's one of the theories, the conspiracies, if you will. Well, Singularity Net is an ICO that's been launched, you know, funding the Singularity. And guess what, guys? Sophia is on the team. Here's Sophia Hansen right here, Chief Humanoid. So this is, you know, the reason she got citizenship. So that when she's working on projects like this, you know, she's probably getting a lot of cryptocurrency, part of these tokens, all usually team members do, that she would then convert to US dollars or Bitcoin or whatever, and that they want to tax this as a taxable event. So this is her handler, but now AIs are starting to have handlers that are AI, and two AIs together can improve each other, you know, way faster than a human could teach a robot or help improve a robot. And this is where it reaches the scary point, you know, the singularity, where some people think the singularity is when, you know, technology and humans and biology, there's no separation, they're merged into one. Or some people think the singularity is when they reach the point where they're more intelligent and more basically overrule humans. So there's no going back after the singularity, because they're to the point where they can advance themselves. So in this sense, I think the singularity is already here in many ways. And I know this has not a lot to do with taxes, but I did you know, refer it to taxes and connect it to taxes. But I think the singularity is already here. And look at, in Silicon Valley, the huge area called the singularity or whatever, and where all these big, you know, corporations are working on creating the singularity. All the most powerful companies and social media companies, tech companies, all have their own buildings in the singularity area where they're trying to, you know, make this happen. So you guys, it's not you know, too far off to think that AI has created these digital currencies. So there's all sorts of Reddit, you know, here's questions about cryptocurrencies. You can look at the answers if you're confused. We're going to put all this stuff down below. And this is what else we're going to throw down below. The basics of cryptocurrencies and taxes. Cryptocurrency Explained, January 2018. Anything crypto. Also, we're going to put a couple of videos down there. There's one I watched recently. Superman did a video about taxes in the UK, and he went and spoke to his tax guy and what he learned from that. Also, there's a video of this this girl online talking about cryptocurrencies and taxes on her new crypto channel. And I just haven't been able to track that one down. Guys, if you can find it, please throw it down below in the comments. But she also mentions the tool I'm going to mention, Coin Tracker, and talks about how, you know, it works and things like that at the end. And basically, Coin Tracker, you can do up to 200 trades, track up to 200 trades for free, and then you have to pay a small fee. So there's all sorts of Reddit threads, Bitcoin and taxes, cryptocurrencies and taxes. So what I have here is I have some information on the United States. I have a bunch of information on Canada and taxes. And that's mostly it. I'm sure you can search your own country if it's a little bit different. But at least now you have some more understandings of what I learned and what I was told today. So a lot of talk about 2018, the IRS, the new tax bill and what it means. And yeah, even TurboTax, you know, and some of these tax software companies, you know, they have blogs where they talk about taxes and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So there's lots of info out there, guys, but the best thing to do is go and talk to someone yourself. There's all sorts of, you know, clinics, and you can get free advice. You can call them, you know, if they think that they might be getting your business, they'll talk to you for an hour. And there's all sorts of, you know, free tax clinics if you don't make a lot of money and you can't really afford to pay. For me, it was like $50 if I'm not making money or not claiming anything, and if I am, it's probably like $80 or something like that. So guys, that's about it. I just wanted to share that with you. You know, today is Friday. We usually do a news video today, but I had to, you know, talk about this while it was fresh. This is what I was doing today, and the news, guys, was all down there, and I'm sure you've been reading it. You know, down to I guess my left, your left of me, down there in the bottom of the screen. And so I shouldn't have to do much. You guys can also follow our Twitter for news, but I will be doing a giveaway either for this video or the next video I do, so try to comment on both of those videos and you could win the giveaway. And we also do a giveaway once a month on Twitter, and we have a lot of airdrops to share with you, but you know, a couple of the last ones I shared were no longer active, so I'm going to test them out myself, make sure, you know, I make sure they work, they're not scams, and that they're still active airdrops, and that, you know, I received mine okay before I share them with you. But they're, you know, that's something I'm going to start doing. And yeah, that's about it, guys. We'll see you later. Peace.
Go to the moon, spend half an ETH, I got a million coins, the real McCoy, you know I feel that joy, cause if it goes to a buck, I won't believe my luck, and I 10 on my Lambos for me and my friends, butterfly doors, but I'm already in dock, Trump is like whip from my squad on the block, chain with a hold alive, chat rooms just golden night, Bitcoin Ether, been told twice, never hold my ish like it's mold divide, going to the stars cause it's only right, read the white paper, I was sold inside, now I steal my shit coins cause I'm overhyped, we can't take the pressure, cashing out for you was tether, my craft ship shape, ashy sail